Good morning, Rock family. So good to be able to share with you guys again today. I'm excited to look at a few verses that talk about an idea that's just really important for us as Christians, as people who are committed to following God with our life. This is one of the most important and significant ideas that we can truly understand and grasp. And that idea is that we are adopted as God's son, that we are adopted as God's daughter, and that we are a part of his family. So I wanted to share with you guys a few verses from Galatians chapter 4 this morning. Galatians chapter 4, starting in verse 4, it says, "But when the fullness of the time came, God sent forth his son, born of a woman, born under the law, so that he might redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption as sons. Because you are sons, God has sent forth his Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying, 'Abba, Father.' Therefore you are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then an heir through God." There's a couple of really important truths in these verses that are just, they're significant for us and something that hopefully you will remember and take with you throughout your day today. The first one is that God sent his son, Jesus, to come to redeem us. That idea, redeem, is such a rich and an important word for us to understand because the idea of someone being redeemed is a biblical idea that was significant because it was the idea of buying someone back out of their debt. When a slave was trapped in a debt that they could never repay, a family member was able to come and redeem them or pay the cost that was owed for them so that they could be bought back, so that they could be set free. And that is exactly what Jesus did when he came to pay a penalty that we were unable to pay on our own when he died on the cross, so that we could be forgiven, so that we could be set free from that debt. But when we look at the cross, we're set free from the debt that we owe, but there's so much more that happens. And for me, one of the most significant ideas that we have to understand as Christians is that we are adopted by the King of the universe. That we are adopted and that we have the rights as a son or a daughter of the Most High King. That makes us princes or princesses in his kingdom. And that gives us an inherent worth, that even when maybe you feel worthless, you are valuable because you're a king, a prince or a princess of the king. When you may feel like you don't have a lot to offer, that you don't have much to look forward to in the future, that, what could God possibly want from me or value in me? Hear these words, because when it says that you are sons, that God sent forth the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying out, "Abba, Father," that we are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then an heir through God. That means that we have the right to claim all of the gifts, all of the privileges, all of the things that are a part of God's kingdom. We are heirs of that. We are the beneficiaries of God's will. Not that God's ever going to die, but we're a part of the family. We're a part of his family tree. And in doing so, we are able to claim for ourselves, to claim in our lives, to claim in our hearts the rights and the privileges and the joy that comes from knowing that we belong to the Most High. So I hope this morning, today, as you go throughout your day, that you will reflect and remember the fact that you are valuable because you are a son, you are a daughter of the King. And in that position, in that adoption that God has given us and called us a part of his family, we are special. We are significant. That there, even though you may not feel like it necessarily, you are valuable and you are treasured to God. And if you are treasured by God, who cares what else stands in your way? I hope that's an encouragement to you guys. Love you guys so much, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Bye.